Hello, everyone, and welcome to the training today. So today we're going to be talking about how to get inventory financing and use it to fund your business. By the end of this training, you're going to know several different cool ways that you can actually use inventory financing, including for things like e-commerce businesses, where you can actually get the money that you need to buy the inventory that you're selling in places like Shopify and Amazon as well. For those that don't know me, my name is Ty Crandall. I'm CEO here at Credit Suite. And at Credit Suite, this is what we do. We help business owners get capital. We do this by introducing all different kinds of funding options that a lot of business owners don't even know about to you, pulling together in one place, making them easily accessible, as well as helping you build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social and improve all aspects of your business fundability. So if we can help you along the way, feel free to grab our free guide at the bottom of these slides, creditsuite.com/live-27 for 27 killer ways to get cash for your business. So let's dive in. So what is inventory financing? Well, when we talk about inventory financing is a revolving line of credit or a short-term loan that is acquired by a company so it can purchase products for sale later. The product serves as collateral for the loan. That's from Investopedia. So I look at inventory financing two different ways. One, it's a way that you can buy the inventory that you plan on selling, whether it be your own Shopify store, whether it be places like Amazon. And two, if you've already put all your money into inventory, it's a way to borrow against inventory you already have to use that as leverage to be able to get the capital that you actually need for your business. So you can typically with this get a very low interest rate credit line. How low is low? Well, typically 5 to 13% is the going interest rate I typically see on inventory financing. Now, all you need to do is use your current inventory as collateral. And what lenders want to see is just that you're organized, like that you have an actual detailed reporting of your inventory, right? If you've ever seen The Profit with Marcus Lemonis, you've seen a lot of people that don't have their inventory under control, right? You go in there shopping, it's all over the place and they have no system for managing it. Lenders don't want to lend you money in this space unless you have some kind of grasp on the actual inventory that you have, the value of it, how much you have, when you're going to need more. You need some kind of good inventory management system. And if you have that, then that on top of the inventory really is what has the value. And then you're able to use that inventory as collateral to get financing. So I talk about this all the time. There's three ways to get money for a business: cash flow, credit, or collateral. With this kind of financing, we're using collateral to be able to qualify. Now, the nice thing about this is since we're using collateral, credit and cash flow really don't matter. So you can use this as a startup. You can use it if you have challenge credit. You could use this even if you have reduced cash flow with what's going on with COVID. So your inventory for one, and I'm going to talk about one option to begin with, but there's several that we're going to talk about. The first is if you have inventory worth $500,000 or more, you can be approved for a low interest rate credit line borrowing against that inventory, or you can get a credit line to buy the inventory if you're buying more than $500,000 or of inventory. So that being said, as I mentioned, personal credit doesn't matter. So even if you have credit issues, even if your credit's severely damaged, even if you don't have cash flow, even if you're a startup, even if your cash flow is declined, you're still able to get approved for this credit line. Now, you'll typically be approved for most inventory financing for about 50% of the total value of the inventory. So if the inventory is worth $1 million, well, then you can get a credit line typically against that inventory for about $500,000. As I mentioned, interest rates are pretty low, 5 to 15%. In most cases, I see about 5 to 13%, and you can typically close on this credit line at about 3 weeks or less. Now, you can't lump together a bunch of different types of inventory from different businesses. It's got to be inventory from one business gets one credit line against that actual inventory. Now, there may be restrictions on the type of inventory you use. Okay, this can include not allowing cannabis, alcohol, firearms, perishable goods. Okay, there may be revenue requirements, but not in many cases. With most collateral or most inventory financing, we don't really have revenue requirements. We don't really have FICO score requirements, but they do not do inventory financing on some kind of inventory that we've talked about, right? So jewelry fits that bill. Perishable goods fits that bill. Those are some of the things that lenders really don't like to do inventory financing for. But as long as you're staying away with that and you manage your inventory responsibly, and there's a good chance you're able to get approved. Now, let me go over and check some of the comments here. Daryl says, hey, Ty. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Chili from coming in from Facebook. And Denaya, I don't know if I pronounced it right. Hey, Ty, I can also get American business credit card without a PG? Yes, you can. Amex comes and goes. Right now, Visa and MasterCard's more popular for no personal guarantee corporate credit cards, but you can get Amex as well. Steve says, what's up? Shan says, what's up from YouTube? Thanks for coming in. And Jay says, you can structure my C Corp to garner credit with EIN only. Yes, you absolutely can. We can help you with that. If we can help along the way, give us a ring. And Daryl from Periscope says, peace. Thanks for coming in. So you're not going to need financials for inventory financing. Personal credit doesn't really matter. All you need to do is be buying inventory worth $500,000 or borrowing against. If you don't worry. We're going to talk about some other options there for you as well. And the lender will also check the quality of your inventory management system, as we talked about as well. Okay, the inventory might be of supplies, retail merchandise, material used to produce a product, other non-obsolete inventory. Okay, anything that goes obsolete in time, usually they don't want an inventory financing. Electronics is a perfect example of that. And the lender will review your existing inventory and your existing inventory management system. And if the inventory qualifies, you can be approved very quickly and get funded with this product in less than a few weeks. Okay. Now, after the lenders review your inventory summary, like I mentioned, you're able to get a working capital line within a few weeks or typically less. And this program is perfect for inventory or for business owners with credit issues. It's perfect for anybody that doesn't have cash flow, can't verify their cash flow. Lenders are not looking at the credit factor. They're not looking at cash flow. Even what they're really looking at is just that you manage your inventory responsibly. And if you have that, you can easily be approved regardless of personal credit quality. So of this, what's the benefits? Well, 24-hour approval, get approved for a credit line as much as 50% of what you actually, of what the actual, the inventory is worth, and really there's no upfront cost with this as well, which is another benefit. You're able to get approved even if you have poor credit. You're able to get approved even if you have revenue issues. So you can get up to $500,000, and again, your inventory is collateral. The credit doesn't really matter. So jewelry, apparel, highly seasonal items, tech items, those kind of things, what we mentioned, are not ones that you're going to be able to get approved for. So let me come back and go back here to my previous slide. So there's also another couple different kind of credit lines that are available using inventory financing as well. Okay, another one will get you up to 150 grand. You're able to get 50% financing against the value of your inventory with that as well. Again, with this one, interest rates can be as low as 2% based on the time that money is outstanding. Okay, so it's something to definitely consider. Now, there's a lot of other ways to get financing, but before I jump into this, let me at least talk about another couple options here as well. So we've also got a really cool program at creditsuite.com/inventory that you can check out as well. And if you go to creditsuite.com/inventory, you'll see a type of inventory financing that's different from what I just showed you. It's actually based on crowdfunding. So they're actually crowdfunding the money you need to get the inventory filled. Now, this is the one that I just kind of mentioned, where you've got to be able to come in and you've actually got to have inventory of, or you have to have income or revenue for as much as about $150,000 a year. So if you've done $150,000 or more in sales over the last year, then you're able to actually get approved for the secondary credit line that I think is really good. And what happens is they go to basically a crowd of backers that has money to lend. And what will happen is you come in, you submit and say, hey, I need to get $30,000 worth of inventory for my Amazon store. Here, I've proven that I've done 150,000 in sales in the past. They come in, and typically within 1 hour, that is funded. And what happens is you get the funding you need to buy the inventory. It's very popular with e-commerce businesses. And so with this, you're able to come in and you're able to actually get the money you need to fulfill your orders on Amazon, your Shopify store, etc. All you need is 150,000 in past sales. Credit doesn't really matter. You should have a good inventory management system, of course. But if you have that, then the financial backers come in, and usually within an hour, they'll get you the money you need to buy the inventory. You go buy the inventory. Then what happens is you sell it, for example, in your Shopify store, and as you actually make sales, then at that point you pay back what you bought. So it's a really cool thing, especially for e-commerce opportunities, because basically you could get your inventory and sell it without spending the money out of pocket. You use crowdfunding to fund the inventory, you go buy the inventory, you sell the inventory on Amazon. As you sell the inventory, you pay back the actual backers what you paid for the crowdfunding to get the inventory. Boom, inventory sold, you paid back the backers, and now you go again. And rates are super, super cheap on that kind of financing as well. So that's really two different kinds of financing that we've talked about here with inventory. There's not a lot out there. As a matter of fact, There's only 2 lenders in the country that do the first program that I offered you. So if we can help you, you can get approved at creditsuite.com/get funding. There's only 1 in the country that I've talked to that actually will help you come in and use crowdfunding to fund your inventory. And again, you can access them easily direct at creditsuite.com/inventory. Go right there. There's the page. You fill out some information. If you have 150,000 in past sales, you're able to then get approved. So there's a lot of other ways you can get financing as well, using other assets that you may have to be able to qualify. You can use a 401k, you can use an IRA, you can use stocks and bonds, you can use account receivables, you could use any of those type of things. The equipment, you could use inventory, or you could use commercial real estate, you could use commercial vehicles, you could borrow against any of those things to get money to fund your business as well, or you could get the money you need to buy those things. So you could get equipment financing. So I've got a buddy of mine's at this conference I'm at right now, and he said, hey man, I just bought like the $600,000 piece of equipment with cash. I'm like, why would you do that? You can get equipment financing for that. So now what we're helping him do is borrow against that equipment he bought cash, and then get an actual working capital credit line for half of that money for $350,000. So that's just an example of what you could do. You could use money in his example to be able to go out and buy the equipment. You never needed to come out of pocket with it. Or now in his example, you can come back and borrow against equipment you already own for Inkler and get financing against that as well. So when you're looking to get money for your business outside of these kind of inventory financing options, then look at other things. What other assets do you have? Stocks, bonds, IRAs, 401ks. Do you have equipment? Do you have commercial real estate? Do you have commercial vehicles? Do you have the inventory you can borrow against? These are some other creative ways that you're able to get financing, and you can use assets of a partner as well. So maybe somebody else has those kind of assets that you don't. You can use them as a guarantor, use their kind of assets to get financing as well. So some of these I'll jump into our securities-based financing. With securities-based financing, you're able to actually come in and get approved for financing using your stocks and bonds as collateral. 401k financing, you're able to get as much as 100% against what's in a 401k, and you're able to use that to get financing as well. You could still earn interest on your stocks. You could still earn interest on your bonds and those kind of things with that kind of financing. Now, AR financing is yet another way you could do this, and you're able to get as much as now 90% financing against whatever your account receivables are worth. So if your customers pay you on terms, there's another creative way to use this to be able to get financing as well. You can even use purchase order financing here to get your purchase orders fulfilled as well. OnDeck is another great place to go, because OnDeck actually has just come back into the space. They're really big on cash flow financing. Just 2 days ago, they opened up lending again. You can get as much as $500,000 with them in financing. They look strictly at your cash flow. If you have a 600 FICO score or higher, you can get approved directly with OnDeck. Okay, they're mostly looking at consistency of your revenue. So if your revenues dropped with COVID, like a lot of us have, then in that case, it's not the best option for you. But if your revenue stay consistent, OnDeck can help you with as much as 12% of your revenue being advanced to you in a loan. And then they also give you a secondary credit line as well for like $25,000 if you have good personal credit. You only need a 600 to get approved, but if you have good personal credit, you can end up with a credit line and a loan with them, okay, as well. So some really cool ways to do it where you're able to get financing up to $100,000 maybe with the credit line, or even be able to get a loan up to $500,000 with them. And they even offer all different kinds of inventory or outside of revenue lending. They also offer financing for specifically inventory as well. This is something a lot of people don't even know OnDeck does. So OnDeck will let you pay them over 12 months. They'll get you a line of credit against your inventory for up to $100,000. They will automatically take their payments weekly as a deduction. If you want to learn more about OnDeck's inventory financing, go to ondeck.com/loan type inventory loans. Again, most people don't even know that OnDeck does inventory financing. A lot of people think that they're known for revenue lending, which I told you about already, but now they have the secondary product, which is inventory financing, where you can get a line of credit up to $100,000, okay, just being able to actually come in and use your inventory as collateral. And again, you just need to have a good inventory management system in order to be able to get approved with them. And let me go through and make sure I didn't miss anything on the previous slides. And again, they can also offer term loans instead of a line of credit up to $250,000 with 12-month payback. So again, you've got options there. You can get a line of credit with them. You can get a loan with them. You can do both with your revenue only qualifying. You could do both with your income or your inventory qualify. So a lot of different options here with OnDeck. If you have consistent revenue, it hasn't declined, then they have revenue financing that just opened up 2 days ago. They can get you financing based just on your revenue if your FICO score is over 600. They have inventory financing. They don't really care about credit with inventory financing. You're able to get a loan up to 250 grand, a line of credit up to $100,000 with 12-month payback using the inventory as collateral where personal credit really doesn't matter. So a couple really good options there with out OnDeck as well. Let me go ahead and real quick before I jump into Amazon, let me really quick make sure I don't have any other questions because I want to make sure everybody's questions are answered. It's much easier next week when I'm back to my office and I have 2 screens instead of 1 screen. Skip says, hey, thanks for tuning in. And let me go back. I got a bunch of comments here. Okay. And hello from YouTube. Hello, Larry. Thanks for tuning in. John, hello. Thanks. LG says, could real estate be counted as inventory? It's not inventory, but because it's not inventory, right? Inventory is like the stuff we put on shelves to sell in retail stores. But you can use commercial real estate and get financing. You could borrow against commercial real estate you already have, LG, or you get financing to buy commercial real estate. So some options there. Jay says inventory financing on products imported from Latin America and sold worldwide. Imported from America. You absolutely could do this. You could do this even if you're buying the things from another country. Both credit lines I've just shown you today, actually the ones I've shown you so far will work even if you're buying and outsourcing in a foreign country. Purchase order financing can work really well for you as well. And Tashana says, does it work for those of us just starting our business? Yes, this will work to either help you purchase new inventory or borrow against inventory you already have. Eric says, how much do you have to have in your business bank account to get approved for $100,000 in credit or more? What do you recommend? Well, first of all, it's not a matter of how much is in your bank account. None of the financing I've shown you has anything to do with how much money it has in your bank account. To get $100,000 or more, you either need to be buying more than $100,000 in inventory, or you need to have at least $200,000 in inventory already that you're borrowing against that inventory and getting a credit limit. So you just need to have inventory to qualify. It's not how much money comes in your bank account. On the revenue financing I talked about from OnDeck, they care about how much money is coming in and out of your bank account, but not how much stays in your bank account. So how much is in your bank account matters none at all for any of these ones that we've talked about so far. So let's dive in and talk about Amazon. So if you have an online business, you can also get an Amazon corporate credit line from Amazon. They take minimum payments, or you can pay in full monthly with them with a 12.99% APR. Okay, an option to apply as a personal guarantor to build business credit. So you could choose. You can get an Amazon credit card, and you could do it 2 ways. With Amazon's corporate credit line, you can get a credit line with them that has a personal guarantee, even if you have no business credit established. Or once you establish some business credit, you can get approved for Amazon's corporate credit line with no personal guarantee. So it's your choice. You can get it right away and attach a guarantee, or you can get it once you've established some business credit and get it with no personal guarantee. So some things to consider there as well. Now, if your business is eligible, you'll see funding options when you log into your Seller Central account. And currently, lines of credit are offered by Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Guys, this is brand new. This just rolled out a month ago from Amazon, okay? So I've already told you about Amazon's corporate credit card. You already know about that. I just told you about that. That's product 1 from Amazon. Product 2 from Amazon is a brand new credit line that they just released where they partnered with Marcus, which is Goldman Sachs brand. Now, if you don't know if you don't know about Goldman Sachs and Amazon, you should know that Goldman Sachs is the one that helped make Amazon's purchase of Whole Foods possible, like $13 billion Goldman Sachs backed to make that happen. So they had a good relationship. Amazon wanted to open up all these different funding options for their sellers, but because they had this relationship with Goldman Sachs, they partnered together and rolled out a credit line specifically for Amazon sellers. So if you're selling on Amazon, you can go into your Amazon Central account and get a credit line from Amazon to be able to actually come in and finance the items that you're actually selling on Amazon. Now, loans come from Amazon lending. Specific terms are tailored to your business. You can get access to total funds in a total of 5 days. You could do it at sell.amazon.com/programs/Amazon-lending. So it gives you an option here. Now, with this credit line, you're able to get to $100,000. The interest rates are very, very low, and how much you can get approved for is really based on how much you're selling on Amazon and how long you've been selling on Amazon for. Now, again, brand new. This just rolled out, I'm pretty sure in July of last year. I just did a video about it like 3 weeks the day after that it actually rolled out. Now, let me take one more And let me mention one other one as well. Amazon also has a loan that is backed by Bank of America that's unique to its sellers as well, okay? So you need to consider, if you go to Amazon Central, you're going to have a few options. You're going to have their Amazon corporate card. Remember, you can get it with a guarantee or with no guarantee. Also, remember, you can get a loan with Bank of America through them specifically for Amazon sellers. You can get a line of credit now through Goldman Sachs, all through your Amazon Central account, all to help you sell on Amazon. Now, you need to know Shopify is the same. Shopify has a credit line you can get. If you're selling on Shopify, you have a Shopify store, you're able to get a credit line from Shopify as well. So something else you want to consider. And if you're running an e-commerce online business, let's be honest, you're getting money from Square, you're getting money from Stripe, you're getting money from PayPal. One of those three, you're more than likely running money through. PayPal, Square, and Stripe all have credit lines you can get approved for. A lot of them have minimum fees of like $500 or less. Some don't even charge you interest. Some they won't even pull your credit on at all. Like PayPal will give you money without even pulling your credit, just based on your transactions that are going through those accounts as well. So let's not forget about that. PayPal, Stripe, okay, Square, they all have funding options that are available for you there as well, that you can actually use those to be able to get money, borrowing against the people that are actually processing money through those accounts, through your PayPal, through your Square, through your Stripe. So inventory, huge, very valuable asset. As a matter of fact, there's some things we talked about here. Having inventory helps you sell your business. People could borrow against your inventory and use that to get the money they need to pay you, buy you out, and be able to sell your business. It's, as a matter of fact, inventory is one of the most popular assets that's used for SBA loans as collateral for people to either get SBA loans or for people to buy a business that has inventory. So remember, with SBA loans, we need three things. We need tax returns for 2 to 3 years. We need good credit, and we also need collateral. Well, inventory could serve as your collateral or your asset with SBA loans, so don't forget about those funding options as well. Very valuable asset in your business, makes your business worth even more money. You can leverage it a lot of different ways to get funding. You can get excellent terms, okay? Your personal credit doesn't need to be good. Your revenue doesn't need to be good. And you also want to consider alternatives, 401k financing, stock financing, etc. But don't forget, OnDeck, revenue lending program, inventory financing program as well. You can go to Kick Further. That's where you'll get creditsuite.com/inventory. Get crowdfunding for the inventory. Borrow against inventory you already have with the inventory financing line of credit that I said, or use it to buy inventory. Don't forget about Amazon's three options they have. Shopify has a credit line for you, as well as PayPal, Square, and Stripe all have financing options when you're running your customers' payments through there that can help you get financing. So if we can help you along the way, feel free to give us a ring, 877-600-2487. Remember, we don't charge you a dime of money to get you financing. Lenders charge you rates, they charge you fees. We negotiate to get that lower for you. But what it really comes down to is it really comes down to you actually being able to get the financing that you need. That's what we care about. We pulled together 1,000 funding sources, and we get you all the financing you can qualify for now, graduate you up to SBA loans. So if that makes sense, feel free to give us a ring. We'll do a free consultation. We'll tell you all the money you can qualify for now, and we'll also do a fundability assessment to see how fundable your business is. We'll help you get your business credit reports with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian for free. We'll go over those with you. We'll give you tips and tactics to improve your business credit score. It all happens on a call with us, so feel free to give us a ring at 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. And I want to open this up and make sure that I have all of your questions answered as well. So let me make sure that I have this done. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Awesome content. Perfect, Andrew. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, we talked about a ton of ways to get inventory financing. We talked about OnDeck's revenue lending. We talked about OnDeck's inventory program. We talked about PayPal, Square, Stripe options. We talked about Shopify option. We talked about 3 different options, 4 from Amazon. You can get their credit line with a PG, without a PG. You can also get their Bank of America loan and their Marcus line of credit as well. We talked about straight up inventory financing, where you can borrow as much as half of the inventory, or get a line of credit for as half of the value of your inventory. We talked about Kick Further, using crowdfunding to get inventory. You can access that at creditsuite.com/inventory. If you got value here, do me a favor, punch the like button, punch the love button. Okay, that helps other people know that this content can be valuable to them. And like and subscribe. If you subscribe on YouTube, select that you'd like to be notified when we go live, and we'll notify you when we go live. We go live Tuesday and Thursday at 1 and 11 o'clock on Wednesday, all Eastern time. So that's when we actually go live. And if you like this training, then feel free to access our other social channels. creditsuite.com, top right of the page. You can see that we go daily on places like Instagram and Facebook as well. Okay, and you can see that we have all kinds of daily tips, or excuse me, we have daily tips, right, on Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter. So make sure you check out all of our links at creditsuite.com, top right of our page, including a link to our podcast where you can even listen as you go. So I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure I have any other questions. And then I'm looking forward to seeing everybody back here Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern, where we talk about more cool ways to get money for your business. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great day.